let's turn up this audio, and we
Did you
are
see that fucking um
live.
fans? Oh fuck. Yep. Okay.
All right, everyone, welcome to NFL Pregame Sunday, brought to you by 3 podcasts that are featured right here, right now. Week 14 is on the horizon, the final stretch, as I hit my microphone, of the NFL 2020 season, as it's been a weird one, to say the least. And, well, let's introduce everyone right now. So, from Between the Benches, we got Dom and Jake. Gentlemen, welcome.
Hola.
What's up?
And Talk Show U, we got Josh and Jacob. Gentlemen, welcome.
What's up? Hello.
Colton's not here right now, and, it's okay. We are going to hold this show good right now. So, let's jump into the news right now. So, Carson Wentz, who signed a massive extension last summer, is expected to stay in Philly despite being benched for Jalen Hurts, and it's just come out that Jalen Hurts is expected to start the rest of the 2020 season for the Philadelphia Eagles, as this is a big fight for Doug Peterson to keep his job in Philly, trying to show that, he is the savior as he brought the Eagles their first ever Super Bowl. Ian Rappaport believes if Jalen Hurts plays very well, things might be complicated. Some higher ups in the NFL believe that Carson Wentz could get traded to an AFC team, but that may complicate the Eagles' cap situation, as they would be burning $50 million in dead money next year alone. Do you think this is the right decision by the Philadelphia Eagles to keep, just with everything going on right now?
I mean, the right decision is to hold on to Wentz. This whole situation has just screamed Howie Roseman trying to make up for the fact that he made a bad pick by picking Hurts over other players that could have helped. Like, he's not a bad player. I wish we didn't draft him because we got a real shot somewhere else. But they're just the logistics of it don't work for him because of the contract. You're not getting rid of it. First of all, you can't just submarine all of that money and expect to be a good team after that. And if he plays well, if Hurts plays well, then that also just sucks because we're a bad team. I mean, we should be finishing at the highest draft pick possible right now.
For me, I was just going to say that I think I like it from a head coach spot for Doug Peterson, just because I feel like it's a risk that he can take and it might work out, at least for the last few games of the season. And it might get a couple wins that could save his job to show that, hey, there's some potential with Jalen Hurts, maybe. But as a GM decision and still with that pick, like Jake said, I don't agree with it. They could have helped their team with many other choices. So
it just shows it just more credence to this fact that Howie Roseman has gone totally rogue in the last 2 off seasons. There have been reports that the entire scouting department wanted Justin Jefferson, and Howie Roseman said, "Nah, I'm going to go Rager." Jim Schwartz wanted Kenneth Murray or Jeremy Chin in that second round pick, and none of the scouts had Hurts on the board. Not on our draft board anywhere. Howie Roseman's like, nope, I'm going to go pick Hurts.
Kenneth Murray and Jeremy Chin were available at that point?
Yep.
Yeah, that's not the best pick.
The last 10 picks, the next 10 picks were all bangers after Hurts.
Yeah. Wow.
And the fact that Alshon Jeffrey keeps stealing playing time from Travis Fulgham.
Do you guys Oh, no, continue, Jacob.
I was just going to say that, I think that they need to slow down. Like, you see how Jalen plays before you start thinking about trading Carson Wentz. Like, that just doesn't make any sense to me. Or before you name him starter for the rest of the year.
Well, that was all just Rappaport saying that shit.
Oh, okay.
That's just him speculating and being himself, who's a hack.
Who's a hack?
Rappaport's a hack. Just keep refreshing Schefter's timeline, why don't you? That's all he does.
Do you believe if the Eagles do finish, where they are right now, second to last in the NFC East, and does Doug Peterson get canned and they kind of try to start over?
I think they should fire him even if we win the last 4 straight. I think he's served his time, and what gives you promise that he's going to change or be better coach? He's never been good at calling plays or designing plays. He's never wanted to bring in staff that could help in his deficiencies. His over aggressiveness has lost us at least 4 games this year. What are we doing here? Like, what is there to save? I mean, the only year that where his play calling looked good was when Frank Reich was here.
I would say that, I mean, 2 of his last 4 games are against NFC East teams, Dallas and Washington. Well, obviously, we've seen Washington play really good defense this season. But I think those are both winnable games. If they can beat Arizona or New Orleans with Jalen Hurts as a starter, maybe it's a chance for him to stay. But I wouldn't personally. I don't think he's the answer in Philly.
I wouldn't. The only situation in which I am not where I'd be for keeping Doug Peterson is if he fully gives play calling over to an actual offensive coordinator again. But either way, Howie needs to go. He's the first one on the chopping block. If he comes back, it's game over.
Now, Jake, I have this one question for you. Do you think the Eagles made a mistake by keeping Carson Wentz and not Nick Foles?
No. Nick Foles can't beat Mitch Trubisky or Gardner Minshew is out of the job.
That's a very good point. I was thinking yes because Nick Foles is, I think, good
even the Super Bowl year
backup.
Even in the Super Bowl year, Foles had 2 good games. Everyone was ready to jump off a cliff in the regular season because he looked terrible. Remember? Did no one remember that when Carson got
remember
the next
that.
3 games? All of us were saying start Sudfeld because of how bad Foles looked. Even the first game against Atlanta looked bad.
I still kind of want to see Sudfeld, to be honest with you.
I think they should have kept Josh McCown, in all honesty.
He was supposed to be a coach.
Now he's on the Texans' backup quarterback list. Well, let's keep in the quarterback discussion. So Taysom Hill is expected to make another start next week against Kansas City, which is a very highly anticipated matchup. The Saints are not trying to rush Drew Brees back from his 11 broken ribs, collapsed lung, maybe anything else that might be ailing him. Do you think the Saints are trying to see what they have in Taysom Hill while Drew Brees is out to see what they're going to be doing for quarterback coming up next year?
I mean, that one's a lot different because, I mean, Drew Brees has a significant injury, 11 broken ribs and a punctured lung. I don't expect him to play again this year. Not with that. And I mean, he's already in his late 30s.
Yeah,
41.
I was going to say he might be 41.
So I mean, like it's time. I mean, it's past time to start looking for at least the heir apparent. I mean, if Taysom Hill can start throwing the ball consistently, then yeah, by all means.
See, and I think this is kind of like a perfect opportunity for them because at Drew Brees' age, you're not rushing him coming back at this point. I don't care who you're playing. I don't care what you're doing. If this is your face of your team, which it is, you're not rushing that, especially being Drew Brees. So I think it's a perfect time for them to experiment and see what they have in Taysom Hill. I think he could be decent. I don't think he's the next guy, but I think he can hold it down while Drew Brees is out. So,
I mean, I don't hate Taysom Hill. I just think a lot of the hype around him is a little unfounded considering he's now thrown he just now threw his first touchdown pass.
Yeah.
I mean, he doesn't really throw the ball all that much.
But when you look at the Packers, they're getting his air a little late, I would say.
Yeah, as opposed to them getting Jordan Love.
Yeah, early.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. I mean, I think that for New Orleans, I guess for them to I think they should keep Drew Brees out for the rest of the season. I mean, easily. You're winning games with Taysom Hill. You have a 3-game lead in your division. Makes no sense to me. Playoffs, I mean, it depends on his health, obviously. At that point, yeah, maybe bring him back if he's good. But at his age, no, you don't risk that. And then Taysom Hill, I mean, basically, yeah, he needs to start throwing more because, I mean, your quarterback, I get it. You know, obviously, eventually people are going to figure you out. If you're not, you know, throwing the ball, they're going to stop you.
It already happened to Hurts. I mean, they try to do the fancy plays with him, and it's so obvious every time because he's thrown 3 passes.
Has he thrown a touchdown yet?
Yeah, he threw it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Jalen the Jalen.
That was before this when he came in for in the late in the Packers game. But prior to
Oh,
that,
okay, yeah.
Prior to that, when he was coming in for the gadget plays, he had 3 for 3 for 15 yards.
I love that.
See, I personally think after that injury for Drew Brees that he should retire. I feel like it's at his age. I
mean, his arm is gone.
Feel like it's sketchy for him. Like that's a gigantic injury, and that's a lot that happened to him.
And I would say that the hit wasn't that hard. I've seen harder hits in the NFL for
No
sure.
one got suspended for it.
Wasn't there?
I haven't even seen it.
Neither have I.
Didn't he like put all of his body? All of his body weight
He drove.
down on him.
Yeah, he drove the ground quite a bit.
His body weight just like fell on top of him. That's all it was. I mean, it was.
But I think the real thing is like the main factor I would say is his age, and he's a lot more fragile than he was at 22 or whatever he was when he started.
That's what I mean. I feel like he's got to realize that, and at some point, I mean, he's got his family, he's got the kids. Like, I just feel like it's enough is enough at this point. I feel like
he wants the MVP and the second Super Bowl.
Yeah, that is.
But as a fan, I don't want to see him go. I can't.
I've never been a huge Drew Brees fan, to be honest.
I love Drew Brees.
To go back on the statement, when the 49ers guy did go down on Drew Brees, he already had 4 broken ribs at that point, and he just added 7 more on that massive just collision.
I don't know. I feel like it's sketchy to play football again.
Don't play with cracked ribs.
Well, my question is, why are you playing with 4 ribs anyways?
You're at that age, you should know not to play.
That's my question.
Even if you're 22, don't play with cracked ribs.
You're not guaranteed to injure yourself. A lot higher probability.
You are guaranteed to injure yourself.
You get hit once, and it's going to be a different story.
No wonder it's punctured his lung.
I didn't know he had injured ribs before that too, to be honest. So that's kind of crazy.
Well, let's move on into the Windy City of Chicago, as Chicago is taking on a player that they passed up in the 2017 draft, Deshaun Watson. And if the Bears lose today, that'll be their 7th consecutive loss after starting 5-1, and it may seal the deal for GM Brian Pace and head coach Matt Nagy, as well, 7 straight losses, 1 year with 10+ wins, ending up with a double doink to end their season, which everyone was rooting for to continue, to say the least. I mean, what do you do in Chicago? I mean, that Mitchell's not coming back. Nick Foles is just your cap gridlock now because you traded a 4th-round pick for whatever reason to bring him in. What do you do in Chicago with a really bad cap situation coming up next year?
Well, I mean,
I don't.
Go
ahead, Jake. Oh, wow. All right, I'll go. I just think the main problem for me when I look at that team is the quarterback situation. Like, they need to figure that out and see who's their starter, who's their guy, what are they going to do? Because until they figure that out, they're going to be a garbage
He said Mitchell's out, though.
Mitchell's out now, so Foles is it?
Mitchell is actually starting today.
Oh,
Mitchell's starting.
I thought you just said Mitchell's not
Well,
Well,
I
he's
feel like
out at
they've
the
just
end of
gone
the year.
so
He's not
back and
returning.
next season.
back.
Next season. Yeah, you're right.
Next season.
Yeah.
But I just feel like they've gone so back and forth. So if at the end of the season, if they keep losing games and they have a high pick, maybe they go for a quarterback and see what they can get. I wouldn't mind seeing it for that
hey,
team.
Dom, you want to pull up the whole standings and see where they are league-wise?
Yeah.
I mean, wait.
They have to find a quarterback because
I know they're not bottom 5.
I wasn't against them bringing in Foles just because, what has Trubisky shown? Like, it was the year to say, like, kind of like Sam Darnold, where bring someone in to see if you really have something or not to fight for the job. And if Nick Foles wins the job, then you're done and move on. Don't re-sign him. So I don't think they're in range for Lawrence or Fields.
No, they're not. They're like 19th, 20th.
That actually might be spot on, Jacob.
I counted it.
He just counted it. I just know they're bottom 5 from that Jake question that we had, or not bottom 5. Sorry.
Because see, that's the whole problem with at least winning games. Like, you got to tank if you're bad. There's no being the middling team is the worst thing you can be in any sport.
At least in the
Buffalo
NFC
Sabres.
East, you can all just get a high pick and make the playoffs.
Unless you make the playoffs, then you go up. You get put up instantly if you make the playoffs.
That's true.
Will knows all about that. You got a tank life.
Yes, the tank life is on, and it's real. It is very real.
Still at
When
0
Will's-
wins.
When Will's Jets almost won a game and then they just threw it out the window.
Wait, Will, who are you pulling for them to pick in the draft?
Trevor. I got my
Trevor's
Darnold
not-
jersey.
want-
It's tucked in
He
the
ain't coming
corner
out-
over
he
there.
He ain't coming out for y'all.
Listen,
just
I have
saying
the
that-
memes prepared if he is coming out and if he's not coming out. I have them all lined up, okay? So, let's
I don't think he will, but
I hope for his sake he doesn't.
let's go. I'm going to send Jake a meme right now. Let's move on to the next topic. So, the big discussion for the last 2 weeks right now is Bill Cowher. He's kind of hinting at a coaching return. He's really liking the Jets job if they can stay, where they are at a 1 or a 2 pick, because that's a very interesting job with a very high cap and everything kind of in their favor with Joe Douglas now trying to build up his regime through the draft and free agency. Do you see Bill Cowher at any point returning to the sideline, who, might I add, has not coached since 2006? Does he return to the sideline, or does he stay in the studio with CBS?
I mean, if he wants to, I feel like he will. I feel like there's teams, try it. I don't know. Especially for a team like the Jets. At this point, you have nothing to lose. Nothing to lose. So, I don't know. I feel like, why not? Just, why not? You went with Adam Gase. You thought that was going to work. Didn't work. You haven't had I feel like a real genuine coach since Rex Ryan. It's just, why not?
And if you're Bill Cowher, why not take the Jets job?
Yeah.
You have nothing to lose. That CBS job will be there when you get back. You're Bill Cowher. And if they start to piss you off, you're like, all right, well, I retire. It's a win-win for you. You get the bigger paycheck, and you can just dip if you don't like it.
And if he succeeds, especially real well, in a New York market, that's gigantic. I mean, really, you have nothing to lose.
I hate to shut this down, but when was this? 5 a.m. It says that he was on a podcast or I guess a show with
I think
Who
it
is
was
this?
the
Boomer
Boomer.
Esiason?
Yeah, Boomer Esiason
Boomer
show.
Esiason, right? And he said, I have no interest in coaching. I have too much respect for the coaching profession to talk about a job that isn't open. But then he said, from that perspective, any job that is open, I have no interest.
Yeah, that's I don't believe that.
I don't know. He could just be trying to throw some stuff out there and draw people away from it, maybe. But I don't. If you're going for that job and it's wide open and you can get it, why do you have to say that stuff? I don't know.
I feel like
Because he's
still
probably
could.
under contract with CBS, so
Yeah, that's true.
that just sounded a whole bunch of legalese to me.
And well, let's go into a lighter-hearted story as I'm trying to load up all these injury headlines and all that. So Bruce Arians and Tom Brady, they kind of were falling off the edge there in the last couple of weeks before the bye week last week. So they planned a golf outing, and the NFL shut that down almost immediately and told them they're not allowed to go out golfing. That might be the best NFL thing ever to protect whoever they can protect right now with the rise of COVID cases all around the country. So just a stupid little haha thing. And now let's move on to these injuries. So
Goodell getting after Brady again.
Brady's had a real tough time in the outdoors of Florida this year. I mean, remember
it's
when
because
he
it's
was-
too hot. He's not used to that hot temperatures.
He went down there and he was running drills with himself in a park, and the person told him to leave the park. That happened earlier
Then
this year.
His Boston mansion got broken into.
He's had a horrible time.
Wasn't he
It's so funny.
supposed? He did do the golfing tournament, right? The celebrity thing with
Yes.
Peyton.
Yes,
did
I
do
think
that.
He lost.
That was pretty recently. Yeah, he lost. He did lose.
Peyton now has 5 career wins against Brady. Look at that. So now let's look into these injuries right now. So the Cardinals rule out Zane Gonzalez, and they promoted Mike Nugent to their active roster. Dolphins placed Myles Gaskin on the COVID reserve list. He is out against Kansas City. So there's 3 Dolphins out for running backs: Myles Gaskin, Matt Breida, and Sylvan Ahmed. DeAndre Washington, Patrick Laird, and Elijah McGuire all are going to be on tap for a very important game for the Dolphins today. And let's get through the slew of players here. DJ Moore, AJ Boye, Bryce Callahan, David Johnson, Myles Gaskin. Oh, I already said all these people. Alexander Madison, Eric Kendricks, Kenny Galladay, Jeffrey Okuda, Jay Sternberger, Denzel Mims, Julio Jones, Antonio Gibson, Joe Hayden, and Robert Spillane all out this Sunday. Zeke is expected to play despite having a calf bruise suffered Tuesday against the Ravens. Matthew Stafford and DeAndre Swift, both listed as questionable, are expected to play. T. Higgins, listed as questionable with a hammy, is expected to play against Dallas. Brandon Cooks and Kiki Kuti, dealing with both injuries, are expected to play against Chicago. Kyle Rudolph is not expected to play due to a foot injury. However, the Vikings are expected to get Irv Smith Jr. back from his back injury. Josh Jacobs, listed as questionable with an ankle injury, is likely to play, as he practiced both Thursday and Friday. Kenyon Drake, listed as questionable with a hip, is expected to play. Christian McCaffrey is now downgraded to out against Denver. He is very hopeful to come back this season despite having a calf injury and dealing with that shoulder injury. And also, no COVID positive tests going on, so all the games are expected to go on as per usual. And before we move on to the next topic, let's look at some clinching scenarios. So AFC clinching scenarios. So Buffalo can clinch with a win, plus Baltimore loss, Miami loss, Las Vegas loss, and New England loss. Pittsburgh can clinch with a win in the postseason today. Divisional clinches. Pittsburgh can clinch the division with a win, plus Cleveland loss tomorrow night against the Baltimore Ravens. Kansas City can clinch the division with a win, or Las Vegas loss, whatever comes first. The Packers can clinch a playoff spot with a win, or Arizona loss, or a win with a Seattle win. Green Bay can win the division with a win plus Minnesota loss. New Orleans can clinch with a win or Tampa Bay loss. Eliminations basically right now: Houston, Denver, New England are all kind of on the chopping block. New England with a divisional thing. Houston and Denver with just being eliminated from the postseason entirely. And there's too many more. I don't want to go through those right now. But let's move into this or that. A game we have not played in several weeks. So, this or that, this is a 5-person edition, basically, with 5 of us. Plus, there's a couple of teams, or players, I should say, that have 5 people I want to add to this. So, this or that, who do you expect to lead the league in receiving yards? So, let's start out with the highest one here. Patrick Mahomes, Deshaun Watson, Russell Wilson, Matt Ryan, or Josh Allen.
In passing yards.
And passing yards. Mahomes is currently leading by 200 yards as of right now. So who do you guys expect to lead with the passing yards situation going on right now?
Is it right now or the finish?
Well, all the way to the finish.
Who's gonna end the
Who can
season
you
with
who
most passing
what
yards?
can you see into the future, Jake?
Let me look up some schedules really quick.
For me, I think it's an easy choice for me to say Mahomes just because he's been airing it out all season. He's going to continue to air it out. He has 2 receivers, really Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce, that are killing it in yards right now. They're getting everything, so why not just keep feeding them the ball? So I don't think anything's going to change in Kansas City. Mahomes is going to keep going.
Yeah, I mean, I was just gonna say basically the same thing. I just looked at the Chiefs' schedule. They don't play any really good defenses. And you have, like Josh said, Travis Kelce and Tyreek Hill. There's no reason for them to stop throwing the ball. It's working out for them. They're 2 of the top 3 in receiving yards right now. Patrick Mahomes easily for me is going to end up with the most passing yards.
Me and Jacob can see the future. Don't worry about it.
I don't know if this is going to be a question. Well, if you're going to receiving yards, how bonkers would it be if Travis Kelce actually ended the season with the most receiving yards out of all the receivers? Because he's only down by 3 yards right now from first.
Yeah.
That would be insane.
I mean, you know what? I'm gonna go a little different. I'm gonna say, I mean, I don't know where they're at right now. I haven't looked at any stats all year. I'm just gonna say, you know what? Matt Ryan lights up the last couple weeks because there's
Matt Ryan, yeah.
some weak secondaries that he's gonna face.
Is there?
I just
Matt
think for him
Ryan-
to win it, he's 400 behind right now. So for him to win it, Mahomes has to have a real bad game.
Well, there's also
That's
a
my
chance that
logic.
Mahomes doesn't play like the last couple games.
That's also true.
That's true. Good point.
Matt Ryan
And,
also, I
I mean,
mean,
he's got the
he's
Chargers.
yards. It's always
It's always
yards
yards.
for Matt Ryan.
I was gonna say Russell, but his has been more touchdowns than yards
Yeah.
all
Oh,
season.
yeah.
He's getting a heckload of touchdowns.
Because like Matt Ryan has the Chargers today, the Buccaneers twice, and the Chiefs.
And we know the Buccaneers secondary, so it could easily happen in 2 of the last 4 games.
I would honestly just go with one of those two, hands down. I mean,
Especially,
Matt Ryan with the yards and Patrick Mahomes, just because he's just so damn good.
especially if Julio comes back.
Because he's
Yeah,
so
whenever
damn
that's gonna
good.
be, man.
Who will lead the league in rushing? Derrick Henry or Dalvin Cook? Henry
Dalvin Cook.
leads by 67 yards at this point.
Dalvin Cook.
Cook.
Wait, Henry leads?
Henry leads by
Henry
67 yards. And he's
Wow.
playing
That's
Jacksonville today. And you know what he could do against Jacksonville in December? Runs all day.
Didn't he get like 200 yards last time?
Yeah.
The last
I
2
think so.
times.
Last 2 times.
I just want to say honorable mentions to the next 2 running backs that are on this list: James Robinson in Jacksonville and Ronald Jones in Tampa Bay. Props to them, getting
Yeah.
close to 1,000 yards.
Participation award at his
Oh.
best.
Yeah,
Yeah.
participation award. But those, I feel like those are 2 guys that I just didn't think would be top 5 in rushing. So
Well, I mean, you also have all the other top guys out in the league, so there's that. But
very true.
Saquon, CMC.
yeah. And Nick Chubb was out for a little bit,
Nick
But
Chubb's actually
for
5th
me-
right now.
which is still really
Because they
impressive.
ran the ball so much the first 5 weeks. And they played the Cowboys.
That's so tough. Dalvin Cook and Derrick Henry have been going back and forth in first place and second place all season. All season. Dalvin Cook's gonna lead the rushing touchdowns this year. That's like a lock for him at this point. I mean, he's up there. You like how I had that queued?
Yeah.
You love that?
Um,
I have the NFL rushing stats as a bookmark on my browser. So
And-
it's just right there.
Cook has 20 less carries than Derrick Henry.
And he has a less game, doesn't he?
One last
One
game.
less
One
game.
less
last game.
game.
You know what? Oh my gosh, I take that back. He might
Give
not lead in touchdowns. He's leading right now,
But it's by 1.
but it's by 1. Man, it is that close.
But for
It
me,
is
picking
really that close.
one of these 2 guys, I just think it's a toss-up at this point. I mean,
It really is.
they both have 4 games left, if I'm not mistaken. So really, it's just the teams they play, which I don't know both of their schedules at the time.
Dalvin Cook plays Tampa today, which is a good run defense.
Chicago.
Oof. But I think I might just go Dalvin Cook. I mean, it's a 50-50 shot, but I'll take it. Dalvin Cook.
It is really
50-50
tough. That's extremely tough.
Well, let's look at the next one. Who will lead the league in receiving yards? As Dom mentioned, right now I'm just gonna go with the top 7 because it's all 100 yards apart. So let's go 1 through 7. So DK Metcalf, Travis Kelce, Tyreek Hill, Justin Jefferson, Stephon Diggs, Devontae Adams, DeAndre Hopkins. Who finishes number 1?
This hurts me.
If I'm being honest
Now-
with you, I really want to say Devontae Adams.
See, I want to see Justin Jefferson lead just because that would be crazy for him to do.
That would be so sick.
So that would be amazing. I think he could. But I just think probability-wise, I might just go DK just because he's been killing it all season. Russell Wilson obviously loves throwing it to him at this point. So keep that going. Yeah, I'll go DK.
DK Metcalf and Justin Jefferson, 2 receivers that Howie Roseman passed on for other receivers. Great, good job.
Yeah, but you got Jalen Hurts. He's your starting quarterback now.
Jalen Rager and JJ Arcega-Whiteside. I want to die.
See, so Devontae Adams has 2 less games played. You know, he was out for a couple of games.
Constantly throwing it to him.
It's impressive that he's
Less
up
than
there.
100 yards away from the lead.
Yeah.
I've got Devontae Adams. Easy.
He has 2 less games than everybody in the top 11.
Yep.
That's pretty crazy.
He's that good.
Yeah.
He
It's
is really good.
I mean, no one on this list. No one on this list has 10 games until 18, and that's Corey Davis.
Well, Calvin Ridley missed 1, and he's close.
Yeah.
Close-ish.
Well, let's look into the next one. So receiving touchdowns, who will lead? Here is the top 4. Tyreek Hill, Devontae Adams, Adam Thielen, and Mike Evans.
Adams.
Adams. I'm going with Devontae Adams, hands down.
What do you
I
guys
would
got
say
up there?
it's either, well,
I don't know. I think it could be Tyreek Hill. I don't think it's that far-fetched that it's Tyreek Hill.
It's not far-fetched to have it as Mike Evans. Mike Evans has like 7 touchdowns within the 1-yard line. And he's playing a
That's
very,
also
very
true.
depleted Viking secondary today.
Could be Mike Evans. You're right. Yeah, I'm gonna go Tyreek Hill. I'm sticking with my Mahomes having the most yards and Hill having the most touchdowns. They're just a stupid duo, to be honest. You're not defending him.
No, so Aaron Rodgers has Devontae Adams to throw it to, and
Yeah, it's
Patrick
gonna be
Mahomes
Adams.
has Travis Kelce and Tyreek Hill to throw it to. I'm getting
Yeah.
up to Devontae
okay.
It's
So
gonna be Adams.
the Packers play the Lions, the Panthers, the Titans, and the Bears. The only team I think that could even hold them receiving wise is the Panthers, and even then, Devontae Adams is unworldly and he'll get it done.
Yeah, I'm gonna switch up, knowing that schedule. I'm gonna go Devontae Adams. Last second switch.
And the last one of the this and that, who will be Rookie of the Year? Justin Herbert or Justin Jefferson? The battle of the Justins.
For me, it has to.
Because
It has to be
Josh
Justin Jefferson.
brought up a really good thing. If Justin Jefferson somehow leads the league in receiving yards, could he be like in the way of, getting a big award like offensive player or something like that?
Ooh, that would be wild if he had Offensive Player of the Year. I think it's going to go back to the same scheme as it always is, where a quarterback is going to win MVP, and then you'll have the running back, Derrick Henry or Dalvin Cook, winning Offensive Player of the Year. I don't think a receiver is going to win it, but
He'll get rookie then as a consolation.
yeah,
But with being a rookie wide receiver and having those high numbers, you gotta give something to him. In my
Rookie
eyes,
of the
at least.
Rookie of the year.
he deserves that.
Yeah, but I just think you're leading the league in receiving yards. That shouldn't happen. I'm sorry. You know how many
Please.
receivers are in the league that are insane?
But
And you're
that's
telling me he's
not-
going to be at the top? That's
A
crazy.
Receiver never gets that award
Yeah,
ever.
All right, well, this
Always
year
a
it's
running-
changed, Jake.
It's always a running back or quarterback.
Did OBJ get it his rookie year?
No, I think it was Zeke. No, it wasn't. It was a couple years before. I know Zeke got offensive player once, didn't he, or was it rookie?
May have been
split-
rookie.
They split Dak and
Keyboard
Zeke.
Warriors on it. Give him a sec.
Keyboard Warriors.
Well, if you could spell, that would help.
oh pot. I can't see it because it's right. It's all the way there.
Receiver got the pot.
What? How is this? Oh my gosh.
Did you get it? Or
It's-
did you just type a bunch of random letters and hope you found it on Google?
He's playing Essay Simulator at this point.
Last time a receiver got what?
He was Offensive Rookie of the Year.
Kurt
Okay,
Warner-
so he did win it.
or no, last time I think it said was Marshall Falk for over Warner. I don't know.
Oh wait.
I don't know. What the heck was that? Was that?
It says that Michael Thomas won it in 2019. Oh, he did. It was last year.
But Michael Thomas was already
That's
3
play-
years in the league. You need a Rookie of the Year.
Rookie, Dom.
Rookie of the
Rookie.
year.
Oh.
Oh.
I was like an offensive player of the year.
Blowing it.
I mean, he is right, though, that a wide receiver could win Player of the Year, though. I don't know what Michael
Just click on
Thomas's
that,
numbers
Dom.
were compared to this season, but
And we're looking for
Oh my
By
gosh.
the way. The last receiver was Percy Harvin.
Percy Harvin,
Out of
And what
here.
year?
2009.
Dude, why is it always the Vikings? Randy Moss,
last-
Percy Harvin, Justin Jefferson,
The last wide receiver rookie of the year?
Percy Harvin,
Percy
Minnesota
Harvin.
Vikings.
And then
Odell won it in
and then,
2014.
And then not Clinton Portis, Anquan Bolden.
Who won it in 2014?
Odell did.
Oh.
Oh, I can't read.
We both skipped over that.
Yeah.
All right, we got to move on to the next topic here. That took too much time. So let's look at the starting and the sitting of players who, well, fantasy playoffs are starting for basically everyone today, and some leagues are in the midst of their fantasy playoffs as we go on right now. What's your kind of like secret pick that everyone should start this week, or even look at starting if they're fighting for their fantasy championship lives?
Fighting for their lives.
Kiki Cootie.
QT.
Stop.
What do you mean stop, Josh? He had 22 points last week. They don't have Kenny Stills because they cut him. They don't have Will Fuller because he's taking whatever he's taking.
And
Kiki
Brandon Cooks
Cootie.
is now out today. So
Come on, Josh. Why don't you stop?
I'm going to go. I think my start would be David Montgomery. He's put up over 25 points the last 2 games, and he's playing the 31st ranked Houston defense.
Start
him in.
both those guys.
I'm putting David Montgomery in over Alvin Kamara right now. Alvin Kamara might be my flex still, but
Against
Yeah,
the Eagles.
that's your worst idea you could have ever done.
Yeah, I'm going
I still
David
have him
Montgomery.
as my flex right now. I just trust David Montgomery more than
T.
Alvin
Higgins
Kamara right
upgraded
now.
to active.
Well, someone I might honestly look at starting, Peyton Barber. Why not look at Peyton Barber? Any of the Washington running backs right now, I think, are a very solid start right now with Gibson, who might not play again the rest of the season. Who knows? But J.D. McKissick and the guy I just mentioned 30 seconds ago that I completely forgot, Peyton Barber. Why not start both of them today in your fantasy lineups?
You're gonna start both of
Honestly,
them.
Why not Lazard too?
Alan Lazard's a pretty good start.
I mean, I know they throw to Adams a ton, but like the person who gets anything besides him is Lazard
That's my
against
flex.
those Lions.
honestly, I like Cole Beasley this week. They're against Pittsburgh. And I think they're going to need to trust Cole Beasley. That's like their dude that they know they can trust passing the ball to. I mean, they can trust Stephon Diggs too, but
Which
Stephon
passes.
Diggs is the clear -- receiver. He's going to be, covered the most. I like Cole Beasley this week.
Also,
They're gonna need
person I want to
passes,
put that's low key, Chad Hansen, the former receiver out of Cal, and I believe 2014. He's on the Texans now, and the Texans are trying to find their receivers.
Oh yeah.
I think he might
He
be
did
in a
good
big
last
game
week,
in the
right?
slot. He had 15 points last week, and I think he could honestly match that again. A very low key player to look out for. And now, sitting. Who are you sitting this week that you have no faith in starting? That is not named Ezekiel Elliott.
Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to go Miles Sanders because Doug doesn't run the ball.
That was literally gonna be mine too, so I got to second that one. He's playing New Orleans. It says first ranked rushing defense, so
And he doesn't run the ball. He'll get 6 touches in like the first quarter, then be forgotten.
yeah, he's averaging 12 points, but last week he had 3, so
I'm sitting Derek Carr and probably taking him out of my lineup because he's been terrible all season. He's been inconsistent. It's irritating. Yeah, but he's also playing Indianapolis today. And even Josh Jacobs to me is just I have no faith in the Raiders right now.
I was about to say you're upset with the Raiders, huh?
So yeah, I'm probably sitting Derek Carr for sure. I mean, I'm definitely doing it, but you should too.
If you want a fantasy playoff victory, sit Derek Carr.
He's guaranteed to go off now.
Yeah, he's got
400 yards,
48
5 TDs, 40 fantasy
I mean,
points.
they are a lot different though when Jacobs plays. That's been the inconsistency is.
Yeah.
Whenever Jacobs has been out, they've been bad, and whenever he's in, they've been good.
So put him in.
I beg to differ. There were a couple weeks ago. I have Carr and Jacobs. Each of them got me 4 points in the same game.
That was against the Falcons, who, that 43 to 6 score has not happened in
that was the-
99 years.
Yep.
I just wanted to state that too.
That was a bad loss. How do you beat the Chiefs and then have that game? Couldn't tell you. I don't know which one was.
It's the
before
1
which.
o'clock game. I mean, the Raiders won their first game in New Jersey in 24 years, so it's the Raiders. They can't play in the 1 o'clock hour. Well, let's look at locked. What are you guys locking today as your locked guaranteed pick?
Saints.
I don't want to pick the easy game. I'm sorry. No, that wasn't to you, Jake. I'm saying I don't want to pick Seahawks over Jets because that's just.
Well, I mean, I'm just gonna go full masochist. Saints.
Oh, for me, it's got to be the Titans. They're gonna bully the hell out of Jacksonville. It's not gonna be pretty. Derrick Henry, AJ Brown. I mean, big dudes that just make people not want to tackle them. It's gonna be an easy one.
I might just go Chiefs over Dolphins here, just because knowing what Will said about Dolphins running backs, you're not having any running game against the Chiefs. You need something. Hopefully they can throw the ball, but the Chiefs offense is too much, I think. So
You
I'll
want to
take the
also
Chiefs in.
hear a stat that's ridiculous. So, the Dolphins are 3-0 at home against teams that are 11-1 or better in their entire franchise history.
Hey, Will,
Wait,
Hey,
what
hey,
is that?
why
So-
you gotta throw me down like that?
So the Dolphins in their franchise history are 3-0 at home against teams that are 11-1 or better.
Can you
'Cause
tell me
all
when
of
the
them were
last game
probably
was?
the Patriots.
It probably was the Patriots, to be
All
honest.
of them, because they always beat the Patriots
At home, yeah.
at a time like this during the year too.
So the Chiefs might be in the new Patriots. Who knows? Dang it, Will. You
Let's
missed
see.
through my
I
luck
want to
here, but I
say
already-
I want to say my locked pick right now might be the Buffalo Bills because of how
That's what I
beat
was
up
gonna
the
say.
secondary. The Steelers secondary is totally beat up, and I think Josh Allen's just gonna be running all over the place, passing all over the place, and Dom's boy Cole Beasley's gonna be receiving at least 100 yards right then and there. So
Starting them.
why not go? Why not go for the Buffalo Bills this week?
Steelers 2 losses in a row.
I mean, I predicted the football team to beat the Steelers, and look at me now.
Look at you now.
You know, whenever we do the fantasy portion of this, I always just go to my team and I take the players from my team.
I do that
always-
too. I can't do that.
It's so bad.
I did that until every time the person I said
Would
did
do
terrible.
good.
So now I go to other people's teams. Just,
And I actually have a question right here before we go into the upset. Could you guys see the Giants upsetting the Cardinals today?
that was my upset of the week.
That was going to be my upset pick, Will. Thanks for ruining my party that I was about to have. Yes, they definitely could. The defense
Last 4 out of 5, Arizona's lost.
and the Giants have been on a 4-win streak. Yeah.
Yeah.
Their defense that I've seen has been playing really well. So I really like to see Arizona's offense against this defense and see. I don't think they're playoff caliber. I wouldn't say that, obviously, out of 5-7 record. But against a 6-6 Cardinals team, I think it's not that far fetched. So let's go, G-Men.
Thanks for just taking all the wind out of my sails there, Will.
Okay, so what's
completely.
everyone else's
I was-
upset pick? So let's go from there.
Browns over Ravens.
Browns over
That's-
Ravens.
That's not an upset pick.
It is.
I don't know
Vegas
if that's
has
an upset
Vegas
pick.
has the
That's what I
Browns
feel
as an
like.
underdog plus 142. Ravens are minus 6
Don't the Ravens have the
168.
Wow, they're
worst record, though?
6-point favorites too. What'd you say?
The Browns have a better record though, no?
Wait, the Browns.
Yeah, they do, but
Baltimore won 38 to. I'm pretty sure
No,
at the beginning
it's
of the
2.5.
season.
Yeah.
It's 3, right? I mean on FanDuel right now it's 3.
I use DraftKings.
well, since the Browns are home, isn't it 6?
It's like 5.5, but
Okay, but still, it's an upset pick. I think it's mainly an upset pick just because Baltimore killed them when they first played.
I think that's why the
But
left of the line is the way it is. But
Yeah, that's a different team now, though. So
I don't think they had Chubb last time.
I am-
Here's maybe an upset just by the records of the teams. I say Houston wins against Chicago.
Did I take Houston?
I hope I did. I took the Bears.
Houston's
No,
1.5 point favorites.
I
I'm gonna
took-
need you to change.
Oh yeah, Houston is.
I'm gonna need you to log
that's
off.
a pick 'em, basically. Yeah.
I got.
I'm gonna need you to pick a new one down.
I actually have 2 upsets right now.
It's tough. I feel like it's tough
I have-
this week.
I have two upsets right now. I mean, I could see the Lions upsetting the Packers because if you look at the last 4 games in Detroit, the Lions have gave the Packers a run for their money every single time.
That is true.
So that's a very close game. And another game, I mean, the battle of who's going to blow a bigger lead, the Chargers and the Falcons. I'm taking the
Yes.
Falcons because why not?
Isn't that what I
Sam.
said on the podcast? The teams who the 2 teams who love blowing leads the most.
Yeah, that is exactly.
So they're gonna
what we
finish
said
in a
on
tie?
Treehouse. Easily.
Oh, that would be the best thing in the world. They finish with a tie.
They can't
I
blow
hope
it
so.
enough.
Goodell's going to be coming in saying, "Oh, more time on the clock. We need an actual winner here."
The Buffalo Wild Wings thing.
The sprinklers come on a turf field. But I mean, another one I could see the Dolphins upsetting the Chiefs. I mean, that might be another one too that
Yeah.
might honestly happen.
Does it count the Vikings upsetting the Buccaneers?
Yeah, the what is it? Vikings are 6.5 point underdogs right now.
I'm going with that.
That's a lot of
Atta
points.
boy Dom.
It's okay. The
That's
Jets are
actually-
16.5 point underdogs, and I think they could cover the spread. You know what? No, the Seahawks could cover the spread at minus 16.5.
Wow.
And well, let's get to the final mark here. Closing remarks. What are you guys thinking about football wise or any sport wise? Because sports are returning. The NBA starting off later in the month, Christmas Day, I believe they are tipping off. Hockey's returning in the middle of January, so it's a very welcoming sight to see sports return. And then baseball's baseball. I mean,
Since you're bringing up the NBA, I'll just bring up the Oklahoma City Thunder, having players I've never heard of before at 18, 19, 20 years old, scoring 20 points in preseason game, beating forget who it was. San Antonio. Obviously preseason doesn't matter, but a young team looking forward to it. It's gonna be a thing to watch, I would say. So completely different topic, but yeah.
All I gotta say is hockey can't start fast enough. Just shoot me in the face. It'll save me from this Eagles season. Hopefully.
Also,
And Penn State, but we don't want to bring that up, do we?
Hey man, they should be in the
Hey,
championship right now.
they
Chill
should-
out.
They should be in the championship.
Which I agree with. They should be. And they've won what, 3 in a row? They
Yeah.
they
Against 2.
it doesn't matter.
Michigan, Rutgers, Michigan State.
They they avoided having their first home game losing season since
Since the Spanish flu pandemic,
oh,
1918.
I'm always rooting for Penn State because I know Jake needs them to stay healthy. So to stay a sane man, he needs Penn State and Eagles to at least get a couple of wins.
Penn State more than the Eagles. The Eagles.
Which is I was about to say,
tortured me
which
for
is
so
a
long.
lot to ask for this season.
I mean, I do kind of regret. I say this every week. I do regret tweeting, the Flyers lost so the Jets could disappoint me uninterrupted for 17 weeks, and this is not what I thought of, being disappointed for 17 straight weeks. And I think it just might continue all the way through up until, January 13th as the projected date for the NHL.
I have a quick question for Will. Out of the Jets' remaining games, I don't know what they are. Could you see them winning one?
Let's see. They play Seattle today, and then they play the Rams. And then
So
they
no,
go
no.
home. They go home again, play the Browns, and then they go to New England. So here, let me give you this.
That
Let me
one.
give you this fan.
New
Let me give you
England.
this.
They're
I'll
going
take
to
the
win
New
against New
England.
England on the
Here,
last
here,
week.
here.
Yeah, but in
Okay,
New England?
Here, yeah, in New England. So here, let's get this all in. So it's week 17. The Jets are 0-15. The Jaguars still have 1 win. And this basically, if the Jets win and the Jaguars lose, it just goes down to strength of schedule. So we'll go all the way through Sunday night to even figure out who will be the number 1 pick. Okay?
Wow.
The Jets will blow it.
Josh Lambo returns for Jacksonville. They line up for a chip shot field goal, and it's basically like a 2-point game. Okay? You go up into New England. The Jets are trotting out to basically win the game in New England. Josh Lambo misses the kick. You go Sam Ficken up in New England, nails the kick, and the Jets get screwed out of the number 1 pick.
No, the Jets would screw themselves. They
Yeah,
don't
they're
get
going-
screwed. They do the screwing of themselves.
Will, you know dang well.
Adam Gase goes, hurry up, goes score the Hail Mary touchdown.
No, he'll give Frank Gore another run on 3rd and 30 because he's like infatuated with Frank Gore.
No, that's Doug Peterson. We signed Jordan Howard back to have 1 run per game on 3rd and 15.
I was guaranteeing a 3-touchdown game against the Packers like he did last year, but that never happened.
He had 1 run on a 3rd and 11.
How many yards did he get?
12.
There you go. That's why you pay him.
That's why you pay him. Yeah, he got a first down, didn't he?
And then he was never seen from again.
He's in for 1 play. He's like, all right, coach, I got to go handle some stuff.
No, coach is like, all right, go to the locker room. You're done.
I need you to log off really quick. So I guess that's it. I mean, if you guys want to talk about your show, here's the time. Talk about what's coming up. I know hockey. I know Dom and Jake are going to be doing some episodes trying to figure out all this preseason stuff. But talk about your show. Tell everyone what's going to be going down. What
is happening?
That's your ad on NFL.com. Thanks.
Oh, there we go.
Yep. Good job, ESPN. Thanks. Yeah, we're almost out of sorts now. We're recording episodes today, 2 of them.
Yeah, we got a trivia thing that Jason's gonna have me and Jake do against each other, and then we're gonna record a serious podcast in hockey for the first time in 2 months. So there's that.
I mean, in the college football landscape, we're going to be having a huge episode soon just because of the upset wins that's happened this past weekend, or yesterday, really. North Carolina beating Miami, huge. LSU beating Florida, completely unexpected. And Florida had a chance, and somebody threw his shoe 20 yards downfield on a game-winning drive. So, real bad decision by that guy. And then a bunch of games canceled that we kind of wish we watched. But talk show will be coming out this one of these weekdays soon. I never promise a weekday anymore now, so whenever it comes out this week, expect it.
And Cole and I are just doing our typical NFL show, so nothing to report there. Whatever comes out, we just do it right on the fly. So that is that, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for tuning in. Let's get into